This is Route 95, a remote highway crossing the desert known as the Empty Quarter. In March 2026, the value of goods passing through this lonely border post nearly tripled to $830 million. This isn't a story about a new drawing the map of is how did a conflict hundreds of miles away turn this desert road into one of the most important new trade routes on Earth? To understand the shift, we have to start here, the Strait of Hormuz. For decades, this narrow channel has been the single most critical choke point for global energy and trade. But since early March 2026, it has been effectively closed for most international shipping. The cause is a direct military conflict between a U.S.-Israeli coalition and Iran, which began on February 28th. In response to attacks on its facilities and a subsequent U.S. naval blockade, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps began severely restricting passage through the strait. To be precise, open-source reporting suggests the strait isn't entirely sealed. Iran appears to be allowing vessels from select, pre-approved countries to negotiate transit. But for the world's major shipping lines, the risk is too high. The route is functionally closed. This is happening in parallel with a second major conflict. On March 2nd, 2026, Israel began a major offensive in Lebanon against Hezbollah. While ceasefires have been attempted, open-source video and reporting show they are repeatedly violated, locking the region into a multi-front crisis. This convergence of conflicts created an urgent problem for global logistics. With the main sea gate to the Gulf shut, how do you get goods into and out of major economies like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, and Iraq? The answer is beginning to emerge from the desert. It is a massive, improvised land bridge, driven not by governments, but by the private sector adapting to the new reality on the ground. The first key piece of evidence is the border crossing at Ramlet Khelah. Opened quietly in January 2023, this 450-mile road was designed to foster closer ties between Saudi Arabia and Oman. Now, it's a vital commercial artery. As we noted, trade here exploded in March 2026. The mechanism is straightforward. Cargo from Asia that would have sailed through Hormuz now unloads at Omani ports like Salalah and Sohar on the coast of the Arabian Sea. From there, it's loaded onto trucks for the long drive across the desert into the Gulf's consumer markets. This ad hoc solution is a direct consequence of the new wartime geography. The world's largest shipping companies are now building formal services around this new logic. In May 2026, MSC Mediterranean Shipping Company plans to launch a new sea-to-land service. Hapag-Lloyd is offering similar options. Their model bypasses the Arabian Sea entirely for European goods. Cargo ships will travel to Saudi Arabia's Red Sea ports, like Jeddah and King Abdullah Port. There, containers will be transferred to trucks and driven over 800 miles across the peninsula to the industrial hub of Dammam on the Gulf Coast. From Dammam, smaller feeder ships can serve other Gulf ports. What's crucial to understand is that this wasn't a pre-planned government strategy. AGBI reports that this logistical shift is being driven by entrepreneurs and private firms without extensive state direction. They are leveraging infrastructure that was built for peacetime, like the new Saudi-Oman highway and planned rail corridors from Saudi Arabian railways. This has created a modern-day gold rush for regional trucking companies. One firm, Ramlet Transportation, reported that its revenue in March 2026 alone exceeded its entire revenue for all of 2025. But this rapid, improvised system is already showing signs of strain. The first problem is on the ground. There is a severe shortage of both trucks and qualified drivers to handle the sudden surge in demand. This creates delays and drives up costs. The second, more critical bottleneck is port capacity. The ports acting as the new gateways, Salalah and Sohar in Oman, and Fujairah and Khor Fakkan in the UAE, were not designed to handle this volume of transshipment cargo. Their capacity will ultimately determine the ceiling for this entire land bridge. Open-source data corroborates this new reality. AIS tracking shows major shipping line vessels, which previously would have rounded the peninsula, are now setting their destinations for Saudi Red Sea ports. Satellite analysis of key highways, like Route 85 from Dammam towards Jordan, is a lagging indicator but will be critical for monitoring truck volume. The economic stress is radiating outward. In India, a major trading partner for the Gulf, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has publicly urged citizens to save foreign exchange, an indicator of the economic pressure these supply chain disruptions are creating. This brings us to the core of the issue. A fragile, expensive, and capacity-limited workaround is being built in the shadow of a widening regional war. Its success depends not just on logistics, but on the calculations being made in Tehran, Riyadh, Jerusalem, and Washington. This new map raises several critical questions. First, what is the official policy of Saudi Arabia and Oman? Right now, they appear to be facilitating this new trade opportunistically. But a formal, state-backed strategy to support the land bridge would signal a long-term commitment and could unlock investment in port and road expansion. We have not seen that yet. Second, what is the Houthi reaction? The entire Red Sea portion of this new network depends on the security of Saudi ports like Jeddah. Given the Houthis' previously demonstrated capability to strike shipping and port infrastructure, their posture towards this new influx of high-value cargo is a significant and unanswered question. Third, what are the timelines for expanding capacity? The primary bottleneck remains the ports. Any public announcement or satellite evidence of new construction at Salalah, Sohar, or Fujairah will be the most important signal that this land bridge is evolving from a temporary fix into a permanent feature of global trade. Finally, what is the risk of further escalation? The sources currently treat the conflict with Iran and the conflict in Lebanon as concurrent, but not explicitly coordinated. Any evidence that these fronts are merging would dramatically increase the risk profile for the entire region, threatening the land bridge and its vital port infrastructure. If you found this breakdown useful, a like on the video and a subscription to the channel help us continue producing evidence-based analysis. A conflict that has effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz has triggered a rapid, improvised rewiring of global trade, creating a new land bridge across the Arabian desert. But this solution is fragile, facing logistical bottlenecks and the constant threat of a wider war. Sources for everything are linked below. If you want longer breakdowns, the newsletter is in the description. The Houthi reaction is like a major unknown. Watching to gauge the stability of this new route. Let us know in the comments.